And welcome back. It's now 7 minutes away from 7 o'clock, and as promised before the break, we're sitting down to talk with Sarina Heusner about her cafe and also about her plans for the new year. Good morning, Sarina, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, Sarina, for people who don't know you, and let's talk a little bit about your background and the fact that you had a cafe before.
Yes.
So it was the
Art Gallery and Coffee Shop on Princess Margaret Drive.
Facing
Coney Drive,
right.
your street. That cafe was originally originated by my sister Rachel Heusner and I, but this time I'm flying solo.
All right. So let's talk about, because I like this, that we're talking a little bit about entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
Now, failure for some people, actually lessons for others. What are some of the things that you think that undertaking taught you that now you feel empowered to actually do it on your own?
Well, number one, to keep my books in order. But after, immediately after closing down the coffee shop, I went and worked for a business. And I worked there for almost 3 years, but I found that being employed by someone was not for me anymore. So when I initially closed down the coffee shop, I said to myself that I don't ever want to see coffee or anything again. But from being your own boss to having bosses upon managers upon and having employees trying to tell you what to do, it gets frustrating. So at the end of the day, you want your own thing.
So it's interesting because you talk about that experience in 3 years. It took you 3 years. So how did you plan actually to get back into undertaking a venture?
Well, it wasn't planned. When I lost my job, I was searching for another job. And then one morning I woke up and said, like, why am I wasting my time trying to find employment when I have skills that can make me money? So that morning I woke up like 5:30, went to the market, bought strawberries, and I made better than sex muffin-sized cupcakes topped with strawberries, and I grossed over $100. And that was just the beginning of this, because I sold out of my house. Meanwhile, trying to find somewhere where the overheads were low enough to make me a profit. So that took over a year, but finally it paid off.
Now, we'll talk a little bit about your ability, your culinary skills, because that's one of the things that you talk about, having that skill. How did you actually start recognizing that what you have is something that you not only enjoy but could actually earn you money? Was there a demand in the marketplace where people wanted cupcakes, or that you recognize that? Because there are so many people baking and offering cakes and all of that. How do you distinguish yourself in a market that for some people might be saturated already?
From the day I closed down my shop, people have been asking, where is the shop? Because it closed down within a matter of a day. One day it was there, the next day it was gone, and I didn't give anyone any advance warning. So people were have been hungering all this while for my goods.
So, and you have, I remember you came on the show and you did the Open Your Eyes smoothie, which is still around.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So you offer smoothies still?
Yes, I offer basically what I offered back then, including the coffee shop special, which is iced coffee with ice cream in it, topped with ice cream with cream syrup and a cherry. And it comes in all the flavors of ice cream that are available at the moment, frappuccinos in hazelnut and vanilla. The Open Your Eyes smoothie, kids chillers in M&M's, bubblegum, and Oreo cookie. Hot coffees like espressos, cappuccinos, cafe lattes, cafe mochas, and desserts.
Well, you know what they did? They just pulled up when you were making it on. Do we have video that we can actually go to? Let's revisit that and in a few and see exactly what all you put in to make the Open Your Eyes smoothie. So it's actually a photo. Sorry, I thought I was praying that it was video.
Yeah.
But how do you come up with these different smoothies and drinks that you offer for people?
Well, they're just a matter of trial and error. Because that smoothie, for instance, I came up with it the day before I came on the show.
What all it has in again?
Pineapples, mangoes, and orange juice. And you're wondering, how can I get mangoes at this time? The freezer.
So you froze mangoes?
Yeah, froze mangoes.
And it's good.
Yeah.
Still good.
And I offer a wide assortment of desserts. I don't call them pastries because pastries is your regular run-of-the-mill jam roll, tart. Desserts carry a name. For example, these are Heavenly Bailey's Irish cream cheesecakes, but with a twist because they're made with coffee-flavored Baileys, and so they're caffeinated Heavenly Bailey's Irish cream cheesecake.
So you can, in other words, you can have them first thing in the morning instead of your coffee, right? Man, Marlene, you're missing out. But so you have, and let's talk about where you're located now. But you haven't had the grand opening. It has been a soft opening so far. But you are at the Bliss Center.
I'm at the Bliss as you walk through the doors to your left.
Yeah.
And that's where I am. Oh, my opening hours are from Monday to Friday from 10:30 to 5:30, and I'm testing out the waters on Sunday because yesterday I opened on Sunday at 5, but I had one customer, so I'm slowly gauging if it's the location that's the problem.
Well, I think on Sundays people tend to, be very homebound. They don't come out that much.
Well, that's a yes and a no, because back when I had the Art Gallery and Coffee Shop back on Princess Margaret Drive, especially when my talent nights were housed, the house was packed.
On Sundays?
On Sundays. Sundays, I find people tend to be relaxed, and in in a more
relaxed way.
Relaxed mood.
They're looking for things to do, but not
to do.
necessarily that demands a lot of energy. So, kind of low-key kind of engagements. So let's talk about some of the things that you cook and that you offer or bake, because it's primarily baking. What does your menu look like now?
My menu, staples of my menu are the fudge caramel brownies, the chocolate brownies. I always have molten lava chocolate cakes. There was a picture of that too, which are the chocolate cake with the hot fudge inside, heated and served with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top and whipped cream and chocolate syrup and caramel
I've
and
had it
cherry.
and it's good.
But the thing about it was that everybody was playing coy, like they didn't want to eat it. But
once you dig in.
but when I collected the plates at the end, everything was gone.
That means that they enjoy it.
Yeah. And I have cheesecakes, strawberry cheesecake, the Heavenly Baileys Irish cream cheesecake, carrot cake, you name it, I have it. And I do offer a savory per day. So one day I'm going to offer lobster rolls, which are like a lobster salad served on a toasted buttered French baguette. It has lobster tails, celery, cilantro.
So it's seasonal. That one will be seasonal.
Yeah. And then my meatball subs, which comprise of 3 meatballs, and a cubana with lettuce, tomatoes, and Italian dressing. My jumbo meat pies, my chicken calzones, and stuff.
So you can go in and get something, and you're open from 10:30
to 5:30 from Monday to Friday.
All right. Now, the different types of cakes, what do you find? Because Belizeans generally love sweet things. Mm-hmm. What do you find that they're attracted to most?
They're attracted to most things that are out of the norm, things that aren't run-of-the-mill. Like I mentioned, the jam rolls and anything that's usual, they will stray away from it. But you put something that's unusual, something with a twist, with a name that boggles their mind, and they'll have that.
Now, do you offer more like slices, or are you moving towards more the cupcake kind of thing?
I'm moving more towards the jumbo cupcake, because if you notice these, they aren't your regular cupcake size. They're bigger. The reason being, while I was selling from home, with buy and sell,
on Facebook.
That appealed to persons. So I had several cupcakes, but coming in muffin size. I did the Better Than Sex top with strawberries and blueberries, the OMG, which is kind of a twist on Better Than Sex. It's lemon cake with lime jello, topped with lemon pudding, topped with whipped cream, topped with kiwi, topped with colored sugar.
That's a lot of toppings.
Yeah, and glitter, because everything's better with glitter, right?
You're such a girl.
I also did the Baileys chocolate chip cupcakes, topped with Baileys frosting and shaved milk chocolate, and pina colada. Yeah.
Which one is that?
That's the OMG.
Okay.
Yeah, the pina colada, topped with pina colada frosting and shaved and toasted coconut. Sorry.
And that one is the
molten lava chocolate cake.
Yeah. And so people get a chance. That one?
That's the Better Than Sex, topped with strawberries and blueberries.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the thing about it is you don't feel too guilty with the serving size, right?
Yeah.
So you eat it and...
that's a chocolate-malarific.
All right. And how do you... How early do you get up to make all of these desserts?
Well, I usually find...
Or you bake during the day so that people can smell it?
No. I find that the best time for me is when no one is in my space at 4:30 in the morning. and that's when I woke up this morning and baked these lovely treats for you.
Yeah, well, we're going to have them in the studio, trust me.
Yeah, I forgot to bring a fork or something because I wanted you to taste them.
I'll taste it. I'll taste it. What will happen is I'll do during break so I can be, kind of greedy. Now, Sarina, let's talk a little bit about the plans that you have, because you've had the soft opening. And how long have you been open at the Bliss?
Like 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So now you're moving towards having your grand opening, and that's scheduled for?
January, Sunday, the 17th of January.
And it will be tied with?
Talent night.
All right.
Yeah.
So
this is like a call to all the performers that, hey, talent night is on, you need to show up. Talent nights were and will still be a platform where people could come and express themselves. I had from singers to dancers to poets to beatboxers to you name it, I had it. To musicians, they were all there.
Which is really good for cafes, because people come and they want something a little bit different. So you can come on. Will it be every Sunday, or will it be once a month?
Once a month.
And have you selected like whether it's the third Sunday, the final Sunday?
I schedule it around the 15th.
Okay.
PD.
Yeah. So the middle of the month, so that you don't have to compete with other things as well.
Yeah.
So usually the Sunday that falls nearest to the 15th. Now, we're talking about all your goodies and, actually coming together with everything. What has the entrepreneurial ride been like for you? Because you talk about, having to close down your business, and you jokingly said at the very top of the interview about keeping your books in order. Was that the biggest?
Well, that wasn't the biggest, but that was certainly one of them. The biggest was running a business on your own. It's extremely taxing, extremely stressful, and I guess those are talent nights. At the end of it, I learned to group and process and yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're recognizing everybody.
Yeah.
Ashley, Leon.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
No, you're talking about the lessons that you learned from having the business. So you said keeping the books was not the only lesson, but that was not the biggest lesson.
The biggest lesson was about holding your own. Being in a position where you're self-motivation.
So it's whether you feel like baking today or not, you have to get up and bake.
Yes.
So it's some of those basic lessons that, we're going to offer this, and it means that it's a standard there, and you have to get up and do it.
Right.
So 4:30 every morning.
Not every morning. I don't open on weekends.
Yeah. Well, weekday mornings.
Sorry. Yeah.
So, and what has the response been like since you've reopened at the Bliss?
Well, since I've reopened, many people don't know about it because I had a lot of previous customers that still ask. But when I bump into them, I tell them, and they make their way over.
So it's right downtown, and you can definitely come over and support Sarina.
And one important thing to note, the Regent Street entrance to the Bliss is usually closed for court. So you use the King Street.
Okay.
And go
then you
out.
Drive
Yeah.
up, contrary to what is normally traffic.
Because there is a no entry sign, but it is allowed that you take a left, although it's no entry.
Yeah. So that's a good point, because most people wonder about how do you get there if you're driving, for example. So you can go contrary to traffic from the King Street entrance. And I'm trying to recap the times from
10:30
10:30
to
to
5:30.
5:30 weekdays. And when you have events, though, because I've been there, and I know when you have events in the Bliss, you're also open. You extend your hours.
Yeah. For every event that the Bliss has, I'm also open. So on those occasions, I will be open, say, on Thursdays or Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays, as long as it's called for. So these were pictures from last week. Being that I'm so close to the courthouse, that couple were taking pictures.
Go back a little bit, can you?
That couple was taking pictures
But they
outside.
just tied the knot.
Yes. So I invited them in to have molten lava chocolate cake to enhance their wedding experience. So at the end of it,
So don't worry, if you're getting married at the courthouse and you need cake, come have cake at Sarina's. I love it.
Yeah, the whole wedding party, they all bought out my brownies. So I was like, isn't this a nice wedding reception?
That's genius right there.
And can you do another picture? Let me explain them kind of.
So the next picture is going forward.
Forward or backward, it doesn't matter.
Okay. They look like they're absolutely enjoying that, though. Now, they'll fix the pictures.
Yeah.
They'll move a little bit forward. You're talking about the lessons that you learn and stuff, and the entrepreneurial kind of undertaking. Now, the lessons that you learned, how come it didn't scare you away from trying it again?
It did, but I have motivation from outsiders, meaning my mom, for one. She's always been gung-ho about me getting back into the business, because finding employment is hard and working for someone is hard. But she always says, when you're self-employed, no one can fire you but yourself. So that is a major factor that led me to doing my own thing. Doing my own thing at home was one thing, but one day I was out delivering and someone showed up at our doorstep, knocked on the door, and was like, we want to buy stuff from Sarina. And she was like, Sarina, I think it's time that you find your own place, because I don't want people coming to my doorstep. So that was
the push
that led me out the door.
So besides your mom being a motivator and also giving you the kind of support that you need, I mean, doing a lot of the baking, etc., I'm sure the house must be in a tizzy when you're getting up at 4:30. And you rightly said that most people are asleep at that time. But still, in terms of, putting everything together, because, I mean, just the toppings on your cupcakes, etc., they seem to be a lot. I'm not a big baking person because they seem to just take so much time and details.
Well, I don't know, but I've always been drawn to baking. Cooking is not my forte, but baking, one of the television stations that I watch a lot, and there's a TV in the Bliss, and it's always on the Food Network, because I see it, I can literally taste the flavors in my mouth before I try it.
So it's definitely a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift.
And you're right, there are a lot of cooking shows now where they try to push you in a certain direction and experiment with food. You know, now, using a lot of what we have locally, is that something that you also strive to do? Or do you try and just make it completely different?
I just strive to make it completely different, because that's another thing. People don't necessarily go for the norm, as you said, what they're used to. So garnishing with strawberries or blueberries. A few years ago, getting blueberries in Belize was unheard of, but now you go to the market on Tuesdays and Fridays, and these things are readily available at your fingertips. So that's another motivating force towards that.
Well, they've been flashing through some of the pictures. You had some tourists.
Okay. Well, this is a local. She's having the coffee shop special. Oh, and those were two singers from the German cruise ship.
Okay.
But if you notice, in all the pictures, people have smiles on their faces. And that is another motivating factor that led me to opening my coffee shop again, because I miss those smiles, the satisfaction that you get from having a customer completely satisfied. It's
a small thing for some people, but
yeah.
It's definitely, you know, a sense of satisfaction that, you know what, people enjoy what I do and what I enjoy doing as well.
Yeah.
So.
And my sister always says, when you do something that you love, it's like you never work a day in your life. And I remember back when I was working from home, taking orders, I had this order for cupcakes, but they weren't normal cupcakes. They were proposal cupcakes, spelling out will you marry me? And I just had this, and it went all the way to Placencia, but I just had this sense of glee the entire time doing it. And I thought to myself of the statement that my sister coined. Once you're doing something that you love, it's like you never work a day in your life. Yes, I woke up early in the morning, but it was something I love, and so it was like I wasn't working at all.
And I think you get to see the full cycle when you see people actually dig into your cupcakes or take the smoothie or some of your other drinks, because you actually see the end result. When someone comes or you deliver the cakes or the cookies or the cupcakes, sorry, you don't get to see them enjoy it. But in the cafe, you now get that sense. And I like the fact that you link that with just a simple thing as a smile.
And before I opened, my mom was like, why don't you get a spot in the BTL park? But my whole mindset was that I don't just want to sell to customers. I like entertaining my customers. I like egging them on. Well, in my previous job, we had this thing with add-ons, and that you can do when you have the customer there. You're like, ooh, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that?
So there are opportunities. You can have a basic cupcake, or you can have it with more things layered.
For instance, last night, as opposed to having just a fudge caramel brownie, I offered the option, why don't you have a brownie sundae, which is a brownie with vanilla ice cream topped with whipped cream, chocolate syrup, caramel, and a cherry.
So It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, I'll tell you one. That's the
The fudge caramel brownie.
brownie
Yeah.
that you have. So, Sarina, before we wrap, we just want to remind people that the grand opening is scheduled for the 17th of January.
That's
at
a Sunday.
what time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And it's also coupled with a talent show.
Talent night, yes.
Yeah. So is there an open mic kind of thing?
There's an open mic. You just show up and sign up at the.
And it runs usually about what, 2 hours?
2-3 hours.
Okay.
It runs like 2 hours, but the bands always they take it as practice time, and at the end everybody just jams.
And you have a bit more space now.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. So you can go over to Sarina's. She's open now, despite the fact that she hasn't had the grand opening. It is open 10:30 to 5:30 weekdays. So you can go over and enjoy the wide variety of sweets. Remember, she also offers a daily special as well. You have in mind what will be a special for today?
Lobster rolls.
So lobster rolls.
And pita bread and hummus.
All right.
Yeah, for those vegetarians out there.
So you can come and have that as well. Well, Sarina, I want to thank you, and we wish you the best as a young entrepreneur, and invite people over to go and sample as well. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
And we'll dig in to the Belize.
Caffeinated,
Caffeinated.
heavenly Belize Irish cream cheesecake.
That during the break. We'll be right back with more Open Your Eyes after these messages.